Good afternoon to all. Able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
I'm trying to. For me, screen is not visible. Whatever I'm clicking, it's coming. This is coming over there.
Ma'am, the screen is visible.
Oh, okay, okay. For me, it is not visible, but it's saying you are presenting to everyone, but it was not visible.
No,
Okay.
ma'am, it is visible for us.
Then okay. Today, many of my MSc students have come. They have completed the course. So today, fully, it was very nice, happy, and nice remembrance. We'll see about Kasi residue theorem. That is the next topic. Then yesterday we were seeing about singular points, type of singular points I was saying. So how to identify also I have given you a hint. So algebraic form it comes, it will be algebraic form. Okay, when the question will be in algebraic form means it's easy to apply the x power n form, z power n, z square, z cube like that is going to come. It's easy to apply that particular point and check for us. So isolated singularity will come. Okay, then trigonometry comes usually repeated values we can put means isolation will not be there. Okay, and also because of its trigonometric periodicity property, we will have finite limits. Therefore, they mostly trigonometric functions is f of z means we will have the singularity points to be removable singularity. So other cases exponential form e power in the power z comes means it will be essential singularity. So now to move on to residues. Residues means we need poles. I told you poles means it's going to be about isolated singularities. So our questions mostly we are going to have only with algebraic form. So this is just for the name definition whatever we have told already I have kept here and entire unit what we have and this is for 3 mark pattern. So in this whatever is written 6 mark 12 mark is you can expect that to be for part B. Repeated questions. Okay, and 4 mark questions for part A. This is the original pattern, so I have included everything. I have already told about this in the first class. Now Taylor's expansion and Lorentz expansion. We will deal again about Taylor expansion and Lorentz expansion later in the next class. Okay. Now today we will see about residues because that is comparatively easy. Lorentz series one formula only, but we have to know some techniques again, like whether the point is going to be inside or outside. According to that, we will write some techniques are there. So we will do it in board better. And Lorentz series is repeated question in terms of exam point of view. So we will deal it in board better. So what is the difference alone I have shown here because MCQ they may ask this. So I am expanding that is only both these series represent I told you expansion of the series. In that expansion only positive powers are there means it is called Taylor series. Negative powers are also included means Lorentz series it's called. Okay, so whether positive powers are there or not, fully negative powers also we can expand or mixture of positive and negative also we can do. All these depends on that particular a point on which we expand. F of a we used to expand now that f of a point whether it is lying inside or outside or on the boundary, it depends on that. So according to that, fully it may be negative or it may be fully positive or it may be a mixture of both. If it is fully positive, you think, then that will be nothing but the Taylor series. Lorentz and Taylor's will that time become the same series expansion. Only positive series in its positive terms. Okay. So as given in the first line, these are all going to be infinite series. So with respect to some point only we are going to talk. So this is the formula for Lorentz series. In this only positive terms are there means it's Taylor's. Power minus n is there means uh, it is called Lorentz series. About this we will deal again. I told you only formula I have given here because it's MCQ. Just while writing in the board, maybe sometimes I'll make some mistake or in that the book I used to have near my board now. Maybe some typo error is there. So I have given it for record sake here. Okay. So one f of sz function is given to us means we are going to expand it like this only. Something into z minus a whole power n, then something into z minus a whole power minus n. So positive powers and negative powers we are going to expand, means it's called Lorentz series. In this, what will be the coefficient of all the positive powers is this formula. And can you come till 3 o'clock class? Oh, okay. So negative powers coefficients, this Bn will be in this format. Okay. So this three formulas I have given here. These three formulas you have to learn for MCQ. So only I have given here. Please check where I am writing n plus 1, where I am writing 1 minus 1, and all those things. How did this formula came into existence? That only Lorentz only devised it. Okay. So we are not going to learn how it came into all. Just we are going to apply it. Some f of z function we are going to apply it and expand and show it. Okay. So in this, again another one particular MCQ, repeated MCQ is there. What is that is, I was saying about residues means poles like that, no? So in this, the first coefficient B1, not B naught. Okay, not B naught, B1. That is the coefficient of z minus a whole power minus 1. 1 by z minus a term. For that, coefficient will be called as residue of the function f of z at that particular point z equal to a. So with respect to a point only we are expanding. So at that point, what will be the residue? Which term will give that? 1 by z minus a terms coefficient will give that. So this is an important MCQ. So make a note and keep. B1 represents residue, not A1, B1. The negative powers B1. So I told you what is pole. Pole means we have to find out by that singular point only. Singular point itself, isolated singular point. So whatever f of z function is given, denominator we have to make 0, means it's singular point. Yesterday we have done 2-3 sums how to identify the singular points that are. So singular points you know to identify now. That will be called as pole if it's going to be isolated singular point. So in this particular sums, that is residue sum solve, if they are giving, they will give isolated singularity only. No need to check that all. Okay. So directly f of z will be in the algebraic form only. So whatever answer you are getting, that will be isolated singular point only. That is pole only you will get. In that pole itself, we have, I told you, some types. So how do we classify the types is according to the order of the pole. So order of the pole means how many times that singular point is getting repeated. For example, yesterday we did 2 sums. One was the first sum, if you remember, we had 2 singular points, both were distinctive. One was 2 and one was 3, I think. Yeah. So distinct, and only one time it came. But the second sum, if you remember, power z minus 3 whole power 3 or something we wrote it. So repeated singular points we had there, z minus 1 whole power 3 or something, but repeated singular points. So according to whether the singular point that is here, that is only is going to be called as pole, right? That pole is going to be repeated. How many times it's repeated? So if it's only one time, uniquely only one time it is there, it is called as a simple pole. If it is 2 times repeating, that is z minus a whole square is there in the denominator, then means what? A is repeated 2 times. So 2 times means what we say? We say that pole A is of order 2. Same way, power cube means cubic order, power 3 means order 3. In general, power n, like that. For each pole, from the pole we are going to find something called as residue. How to find the residue? This formula. How? General formula, I will start from general formula, you see. For order n, that is, the question is f of z, in the denominator I have z minus a whole power n. Okay, that z minus a whole power n is there in the denominator, you think. Like that only we will find singular points, right? So then only we will call it as a pole of order n. If we have like that, what we have to do is, we have to find first this term. That is, what was deleted from the question, multiply it. In the original question, z minus a whole power n will be in the denominator. You take it away. So you multiply z minus a whole power n into the f of z. So what will happen? The denominator z minus a whole power n and this z minus a whole power n will get cancelled. Only the numerator part will be here. Okay. F of z is the whole question. In the denominator, we will have z minus a whole power n. So only we got z minus a as a pole. Okay. So now you cancel that. You remove that. Then only we can do differentiation and apply the limits all. So you are going to remove that. Only numerator you have to take that. That is the meaning of this. What is this square bracket? Only numerator you are going to take here. For that numerator part, you have to find the derivative n minus 1 times. If the pole is of order n, we have to do n minus 1 times. Then multiply by 1 by n minus 1 factorial. For this whole thing, apply the limits z tends to a. That is, for this, after finding the derivative, after multiplying by this term, then wherever z is there, apply a. Okay, what is the answer you are getting? That will be called as residue. So for example, 3 means what we have to do? That denominator you have to cancel. Only numerator you have to take. Do 2 times derivative. Second order you find out. 1 by 2 factorial you multiply. Find the limits. Just as apply wherever in the numerator that derivative part, you apply z equal to a and write. Find the residue. So order is 2 means, that is, the a is repeated only 2 times. Means we do only one derivative. So in general, if it's a simple pole, we take just the numerator, find the limits. That's all. Numerator part alone we will take off the question and find the limit. This all we will do when the pole is going to be inside or on the line. If the pole is lying outside, like Cauchy integral formula, we write the residue to be 0. So every sum, whether you are finding singular point or you are finding pole, anyway you are finding the same thing only. Name only is going to be different. In Cauchy integral formula, you will call it as singular point. In Cauchy residue, we will call it as pole. Why? Because this is isolated singular point. Okay, so we will call it as a pole. But anyway, if it is inside or on the boundary means we have a set of formulae. If it's outside means always we will write 0 only. Okay, there we will write the f of a point to be 0. Here we will write the residue to be 0. Okay, so we have found the residues. With the residues, what to do further? We have to find the integration answer. Here we are finding residue. So with the residue, what are we going to do for? How to link it back to the whole integration over f of z dz? That is this formula. So Cauchy residue theorem, what it says is the whole integration over f of z dz over this closed curve C will be 2 pi I times, you take all the poles, find their residues and their addition, that is sum. So sum of residues are all poles of f of z. Why we have written like that is like this means we have that 3 sums in Cauchy integral formula. If you remember, the first sum had only one pole. Z minus 1 alone I gave. Z plus 1 alone I gave. In 2 different C's we were seeing. One was inside, one was outside. Like that we saw in the first day. Then yesterday we did, in that first sum was with 2 poles. One was z minus 2 into z minus 3. So 2 is a pole, 3 is a pole. For each pole we have to find one residue. For each pole, each distinct pole we have to find residues. Then take their sum. Multiply that sum by 2 pi I. That will be the answer. So you see, this is the beauty of the theorem. If you think about it, we are not doing actual integration at all. Only we do some derivatives, and with the derivatives we find integration answer. Here we do only differentiations. Ordinary differentiation we do, and we do finally addition only between the residues. Addition, then multiplication by this constant we are going to do, but that gives the integration formula. So what is the method? Always first step is to find the poles, then find the residues. By finding the residues, please remember whether inside or on the boundary or outside. We have to remember that. According to that, the formula differs. And according to the order of the pole also, the formula differs. Please remember all those things. Then add everything, multiply by 2 pi I, That will be the final answer. No need to do any integration. So Cauchy residue theorem, again, don't think I'm grinding the same floor, but repeated question. Especially CT3, you can expect 2 questions at least because only 4 and 15 we are going to have. So surely it will be there. For example, I have given here, let's see, Cauchy residue theorem, 1 question, but 3 different curves I have given. One by one we will see. Okay. So first, what is given in the denominator? From the denominator only, we have to solve for poles. So take denominator equal to 0. Z square plus 2z plus 5 equal to 0, we will take. What will be the roots? Roots, addition must give me 5, multiplication must give me 2. So directly we cannot find anything. So I go with the formula minus b plus or minus square root of. So using that I have found that we are getting as complex roots. So minus 1 minus 2i will be one root, minus 1 plus 2i will be another root. So 2 roots I have got. So how to write it in the factor form? If a and b are the roots means I will write z minus a into z minus b like that. So z minus first root into z minus second root. So the original denominator can be written as z minus root into z minus root. And let us check these roots. These roots are both simple. That means what? They are only repeated only one time. That means they are called as simple. So we write that both the poles are of order 1. That is, they are simple poles we write. Simple poles means what? Derivative no need to do, no multiplication work. Only numerator you are going to take and apply the value. See here, see the formula. Simple pole means we cancel the denominator. To cancel the denominator only we multiply by that particular pole. Cancel the denominator, not the entire denominator, that factor alone. Okay, that one factor we will cancel. The remaining thing you have to apply the pole. Sorry, I made a mistake while saying about this. Not the only numerator. Maybe now in this sum itself you see I have 2 different poles. So only that particular pole I will cancel, the other pole will remain. Sorry, I made a mistake. So you see, we will see how we have to check. So what is this number? Minus 1 minus 2i and minus 1 plus 2i. First, next step what we have to do, we have to check whether inside or outside. So what is given? First question is z equal to 1. For that we will see. If z is equal to 1, distance must be 1 only. Right? Distance, radius 1, everything we have to include. But if you take the 2 poles, minus 1 minus 2i is the distance from origin. How to find the distance from origin? Take the absolute value, that is the distance. So it is root of 1 square plus 2 square. So 1 plus 4. Root 5. Root 5 value is 2.236. So obviously it is greater than 1. Same way, the other pole, minus 1 plus 2i. The other pole also, root 5 is coming as the distance. So obviously it is also lying outside the unit circle. One radius circle, more than that is there. So both these points, both these poles lie outside the curve. Means residue is 0. So the integration value will be 2 pi I 0 plus 0. Residue is 0. So answer is 0. For the first question, mod is equal to 1. Let me check the second question. Second question is mod of z plus 1 plus I equal to 2. Means what? Now the center is minus of 1 plus I, radius is 2. Please remember, z minus a we have to write formula, a will be the center. So minus of 1 plus I will be the center and 2 will be the radius. Okay, so let's check that. So 2 radius less than that I should have, but what? Not from the origin. From where? From this point, 1 plus I point I should have. So what I'm doing is, I have the poles what? Minus 1 minus 2i, right? So minus 1 minus 2i I first take. Minus 1 minus 2i. I add with this point. That means what? In the question I am substituting in place of z this point. Minus 1 minus 2i plus 1 plus I. I take the absolute value and check. So what will happen? Minus 1 plus 1 cancel. Minus 2i plus I will yield me minus I. Absolute value of minus 1 I, minus I have to take. So real part 0, imaginary part is minus 1. Root of 0 square plus minus 1 whole square is 1. So 1 I get the answer. So it is less than 2. Distance is, radius is 2 I have taken. So obviously distance between these both points, if I substitute in place of z that point, I get 1 less 1. So this first point is lying inside. Same model if I apply the second point, the other root or the other pole, I get the answer to be 3. It's greater. So the first point lies inside, the second point lies outside. So for the residue for the second point, you see for minus 1 plus 2i, for the second point residue is 0. For the first point what we have to do? We have to apply in that formula. So for the first point minus 1 minus 2i, how to find the formula? We have to remove this from the f of z question. F of z is the whole question, that is this z minus 1 upon z square plus 2z plus 5. From that you multiply by z minus of that particular point what we are going to check residue. Essentially what we are doing, we are going to remove this part, that's all. So don't keep it like this itself. What you know is, you know how to factorize this and right, that we have done here earlier. The denominator can be written as z minus a into z minus b, like that we have written. This way if you write, it's easy to cancel. So write in that format. I have z minus of a, that is our question, into z minus of the other residue, other pole. Now cancel the one term, the other term will remain, numerator will remain. So z minus 1 upon z minus of minus 1 plus 2y will be remaining for us. Now apply the limit. Because this is simple pole, no need to do any derivative one. No need to find higher order derivatives or second order, first order derivatives. Directly find limit point. Just to substitute wherever z is there, this point. Okay. So minus 1 minus 2y minus 1 upon minus 1 minus 2y, minus of minus will become plus 1 minus 2y. So on simplification, I get answer as 1 plus I by 2y. Like that I am getting. Keep it as such. So this is one residue. Another one residue was 0. So adding both, I get the summation to be 1 plus I by 2y. Multiply by 2 pi I. So final answer is I will get cancelled. 2 also will get cancelled. So final answer is 5 times 1 plus I. This will be the integration solution for the second question. First question, integration solution was 0 when the C is the circle, mod is equal to 1. But when we had it like this, we have a finite value. Moving on to the third question, mod of z plus 1 minus I equal to 2. If I take this question, then what will happen is, same way if we check, again one is lying outside, one is lying inside. So according to that, again we will find for outside means 0. See outside, now that minus 1 minus 2y is lying outside, minus 1 plus 2y is lying inside. Oh sorry, which is wrong. Minus 1 minus 2y is lying inside, because less. Minus 1 plus 2y is lying outside. The ulta way it has come. So we will find their corresponding residues, take their sum and add. Sorry, this sum. Residue, sum, add it. So like that, we have to find the answer. So this is for Cauchy residue theorem. So main part is isolate singular points. Whatever you are finding, question will be mostly algebraic. 99.9% algebraic question only. So whatever you are finding, it will be isolated singularity only. No need to check that. That is whatever you are going to find, it will be pole only. What is your work is to identify which order is the pole, because according to the order only you will know which formula to substitute to find residue. So that is very, very important. Identifying the order of the pole. Next is to identify what suitable formula to put. Okay, so remove that pole alone from the f of z function by multiplying it. Then do the derivative. Suitable derivative. If n times the order means n minus 1 times the derivative you have to do. Then multiply by 1 upon n minus 1 factorial. Then you apply the limit. So please remember the formula correctly. Like this, find residue, residue, residue for each of the poles. Whatever distinct poles you are going to have, add them, multiply by 2 pi. So that's very important. And what is remaining is the application part, and I will be important questions. This repeated questions is this question, this z equal to 1, many times they have asked in part A. Z equal to 1, though our work is only to find the poles and identify that they are outside. That work only is there. In Z part, you just substitute wherever in the question, wherever Z is there, you substitute the pole and check. Radius less than that we should get, means inside or on the boundary. If it's greater means it's outside. Please remember that. With that we will start. I need one more class. Do I have one more class? I think we have, right? Next day order, do we have class? Next day order. Next Tuesday, right? 20. Okay. Tuesday we'll finish the class. I'll finish the unit.